Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Memory Keeping with Megan. I'm Megan. I have been back into paper crafting for almost a year, and during that time I have put my room together in a way that functions really good for me right now. I have learned some different organizational tips, some different ideas, and I wanted to share some of that with you guys today in hopes that it would help you organize some things and learn some tips and tricks of the trade as well. So let's go ahead and get started with a tour of my craft room. Okay, let's go ahead and walk in here. I'm going to move this chair out of the way and we'll get started over here. Normally I have my Cricut setting out of the carrying case, but I just went to a crop a few days ago and I'm going to go to another crop in a couple of days, so I just left it in there for right now. The carrying case in of itself is a recent purchase that I made at Hobby Lobby. It was probably roughly about $30. A couple of features that I like about this is I like the pockets right here that are clear so I can see about putting my cords in there, and I like the matching tool kit case and that it fits just right in there, that's perfect. The cube storage units are probably one of my favorite organizational items in my craft room. I have shopped around different stores and I have used different brands of cube units in my personal and professional lives, and I have found that these cube units from Menards best fit my needs. They are sturdy, very well built, and they measure, their fabric bins here measure 12 by 12, a little bit bigger than 12 by 12, so I can put my papers and things in there. Some things that I love about the cube storage units is that everything has its own separate place. Like over here I have magazines, and then here I have like hardbound binders, and then also it just looks put together. It doesn't look cluttered. It's visually appealing for me, and when there are things that I would like to hide or I don't need to look at every day, then you can get these fabric bins and you can hide your things in the fabric bins. You could also get colorful fabric bins and add a little bit of color to your craft room, your area. As I was reorganizing my craft area, I was going through things and making a determination if I wanted to keep it or if I wanted to toss it or donate it. So these idea books and magazines are things that I wanted to keep because they're idea books. They've got different ideas and different things, like for card making or for scrapbook layouts. Also, I have over here my sketchbook that I have purchased. This is where I keep my sketchbook from the creative design team. I have both volumes for the 12 by 12 sketchbook, and I keep them in page protectors. It is very easily accessible to me. Right here as I work, and I just come over here for some different ideas. Another organizational thing, I got this off of Amazon. This carries my die cuts, and I love the handle. It's very easy for me to carry, and I love that it has different sizes of pockets that you could put in here and be able to find your die cuts and flip through pretty easily. And then if you wanted to, you could have some tools like your pens or scissors or anything else that you can think of to put in there. What led me back to paper crafting was taking these composition books and decorating them up, and I could give them as gifts to my coworkers and my family and friends. And so in here I have a whole bunch of the composition books that I bought, and some of them I've cut in half so I can make little ones, but I love this feature that I can just keep them in there and they're not just hanging out and looking ugly at this point. This is my crafting area. This is where I film my videos. The L-shaped desk works perfect for me. I love to spread out and do my work. I also love to have everything within an arm's reach from me. The precision glue press is something I just bought a few days ago at the crop that I attended at my local scrapbook store. I love this. As a matter of fact, after I purchased this, I did not use any other adhesive for the remainder of the crop. I have an autoimmune disease, and so sometimes my hands get stiff and it's difficult for me to shake the glue bottle or squeeze the glue bottle. So this is the perfect answer for me. What comes in this when you purchase is the glue press and the one bottle, full bottle, which was already put into the glue press of Nuvo glue, and then an empty bottle so that you could put in here your glue of choice, and then of course the stand. So the lid on the bottle just twists off. I love this little feature here where you can keep your lid, because I know that I would be the one that would be searching for 30 minutes for my lid. And so you just squeeze, and then when you are not using it, then you can put it right here in the stand. And let me point out to you this little rubber piece down here that works in place of wasting time of putting the pen in your glue bottle and taking the pen out after every use. You don't have to do that with this. One of the girls at the crop told me that she had left hers sitting out all night like this by accident, and when she went back the next morning, there was no problems whatsoever. So this has become one of my favorite tools in my craft room. Another little handy feature that I love here is this little nail polish stand that I purchased from TJ Maxx. I love how it is tiered, and so I can see as I'm sitting here what colors, and I keep things organized in a rainbow order, the Roy G. Biv, and so I know whereabouts to start looking for the colors that I need. This little caddy over here I purchased many moons ago from Michaels, and I love the accessibility and all the different little features that it has. I have this as like a little junk drawer in this caddy. This is my little hole punch. It keeps my scissors and all of my different pens, my little scissors here, some craft knives, my pickup tools. I have here extra little clips, and this is a feature that I love about it, because if I am working on things, I can keep my paper piecings up here, but also if I am working on things that I've inked and I need them to dry, then I can take a clip and I can just put it right here, and it's out of the way, and I don't have to worry about it getting ruined. This unit right here I purchased from Michaels also many years ago. It's actually 4 different pieces. And if you look closely, you will see that I have all the different little things labeled. I am a big believer in labeling. I keep as much labeled as I possibly can, because I believe that that saves me a lot of time, and I see where everything is. The label maker I use, I actually have 3 or 4 different label makers. This is the one that I'm currently using. None of them are anything really fancy. I just purchased them at the local Walmart store. I will pull out a few of these drawers so that you can see how much space that you have. This is where I keep my acrylic blocks for my stamps. I'm not going to slide everything back in. It makes an awful lot of noise. In here I have little daubers and blenders for my inks. And then in this drawer, it's divided, and I have my dots and then my chipboard pieces and things. One of the features that I love about these drawers, I'll go up here to one that is empty and show it to you, is that these dividers are removable. So if you need to have a bigger drawer space, then you can easily have that. I do really love this unit. It provides a ton of storage, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. And going vertical is a big bonus in your craft room. I have my embossing powders here, my little color wheel. This is a recent purchase from Michaels. It was roughly about $10. This is great for on the go if you're going to go to a crop and know that you're going to do some inking. This is perfect. Also, This is a purchase that I made the last few months. I believe it's called Sun. It's a head magnifier, and it has a light on here so that you can see when those times that you need the extra little light. Plus, this little, even though I'm wearing my readers, sometimes I need an extra little bit of extra magnification. And so when you purchase this, you get 5 or 6 different sizes. I mean, it starts off at a magnification size of 1.0, and I think it goes up to 3.5 or 4. But I use this more often than what I would like to admit. Another thing that I use when I am doing my embossing is this little funnel tray. You can purchase this off of Amazon for about $5. I know that you can also use a piece of paper, but this is just preference for me. And going up here, again, just some more little cubby holes, just for some extra little storage. This little pulls out. I've got some little idea books in here. Some more inks. This is where I have some Nuvo dot ink things. That was a recent thing for me. I am still learning so much because things have really changed. When I went to this crop last weekend, there was another lady there. This was her first crop, and she said that she had been out of scrapbooking for about 15 years as well. And her and I talked about how things have really changed and the improvements that have been made. This is my storage unit. I need to get more tricolor pens. I have not purchased a storage unit for my Stampin' Up! Ink pads. I have the Close to My Heart holders, and then I purchased off of Amazon holders for my Distress Ink and Oxide stamps. In this drawer, I have my tools for my Cricut. This one is labeled adhesives. And then down here, oh, I need to get that put away. But I have some 8.5 by 11 papers down here. And then I have like page toppers for my layouts. This storage unit I purchased from Michael's. I don't remember the cost. It was several years ago. I love the fact that it is on wheels, because if I need to work on something that I have in here, then I can just easily move it out and make it more accessible to me than underneath my desk. But I have this labeled fishing and camping, and so in here is different supplies that I would need to make those layouts, and baseball, soccer, football, wrestling, just all the things that my boys participated in when they were younger. I keep my bag underneath here that I fill when I go to crops. In here, I keep this little tool organizer in here for when I go to crops, because this is something that I can set out and I can have all my tools just stuck in here. And again, that's easily accessible for me during the crops. This is my scrap paper. Keep her underneath my desk, a little fabric bin. In this drawer is my tools, my bone folders and eyelet setters, and little pokey tool, my T-ruler, blades, this little rub and remove, and then I have a couple of scrapers, one from many years ago with Creative Memories, and then this is a Pampered Chef scraper, works perfect. Little Tim Holtz distresser, emery boards, does the same thing. And then I have just regular rulers over there. I use my little desk drawer organizer. And then in here is cards. I have cards that I have made and cards that I have purchased from the stores. I also have my address book over here. This is just a nice little handy place, and I love that I can pull this drawer out and push it back in. To me, having that pull-out drawer or shelf, whatever you want to call it, just adds to the accessibility of things that you have in there. So if you have the capability to have that in your craft room, I recommend that. Next is my 8-cube storage unit. This looks visually appealing for me. I have everything labeled. When I was putting everything together, I started off with my themed papers up here, and these are organized in an ABC order. I'll let you look at that. And I have different holders. I just made do with what I had. I stopped the camera and pulled out one of these. I'm just going to call it like a magazine holder, but I pulled out one of these because they can get heavy and I needed both hands for this. But I wanted to tell you that I've had these for a number of years, and I know that you can still purchase these type of storage units off of Amazon, and I do love the fact that you just pull this out and it is easily accessible. You can come right here and just pull things out from the very top, like if I wanted, you know, some axe throwing paper. And then another little, it's kind of like a storage unit within a storage unit. Then this divides things up for me here. This is like back to school papers. And then I keep things, kits and things that I purchase in their Ziploc bags. And then, speaking of Ziploc bags, ones that I had, I went ahead and just cut the top off of them. It did store better that way in here. So after my Z, which is my zoo papers over here, then I just have some kits that I'm going to use to make some folios with. And then I have some of my Stampin' Up! Kits. And I have the watercolor cardstock that I'm going to be using to experiment with my sprays. And this is an idea, a storage idea that I picked up from Erin Jacobson off of Crafty Concepts with Erin. I have this 3-ring binder that I put black cardstock in for the background so that I could easily see what my stencils were. And then I have the different sizes, even still in the 12 by 12. Stuck in here that way for right now. But this is a great way to keep my stencils organized. Love this. I wanted to point out that I did try some different color, darker colors of cardstock instead of the black first, and the stencils did not show up very well with those. So that is why I chose to stay with the black. This is where I keep my Versamats when I am not in need of them. And here is my solid color cardstock. And I, again, keep things in the rainbow order, the Roy G. Biv. And so I have the Stampin' Up! Families here. And so instead of labeling those, I have just chose right now to keep just the name of them here so I know what colors are in the different families. But here's an example with the Close to My Heart. And then I have the Mist, how I have them labeled down here. This fabric bin I have turned over. This is like works in progress, things that I'll be doing upcoming videos on, or things that, other things that I am working on. I have these fabric bins labeled with what type of papers are in here and where they came from. And I have noticed that different brands are of different quality. And so I like to know where this paper pack came from. And also, if you guys are wondering how I am keeping my paper from not folding or curling or anything in here, is I have in the back of these bookends. And so that keeps my paper standing up straight and tall. The papers are heavy, so it takes 2 hands to pull the drawers in and out here, the little fabric bins in and out here. But again, I feel very comfortable with this cube unit because it is so sturdily built. Now, another organizational tidbit that I picked up from Crafty Concepts with Erin is how to store your blending brushes and make the most use out of your vertical space in your room. And so these are just command hooks with jump rings that are holding the blending brushes. And I have cardstock swatches. And then I have my Cricut mats kept down here. Perfect place. Speaking of the works in progress over here, this also is a work in progress. This is my New York album. I went to New York in the summer of 23, and then also this past summer, I just came back from a trip. So in this black fabric bin, I have all of my papers and ephemera to work on my album. Next stop on my craft room tour is the closet. But before I do that, I want to show you something else. Back in the late 90s, when I was first getting into scrapbooking, I purchased this scrapbook hutch, and this is how my scrapbook area, crafting area started off, was with this hutch. And I have grown, and this was in the closet that is in my current craft room, but it took up way too much space, and I just couldn't do anything with it. And I wanted to use the closet in a different way. And so that was this past spring's project, was to move this into this little room here. And it's become just more of a storage unit than anything else. So what I have in here is unused, for the most part, unused albums. And oh, that was an awful noise. I'm so sorry. Pages. I do have some different papers here, and then I have more unused album and papers. This rolls out so for the workspace area, and then my Creative Memories custom cutting system from many moons ago. And during COVID, I got into doing painting. And so this is where I have my blank canvases and then my little stands. And then these drawers, I have some cutting systems and here. And then I used to keep my stamps, oh no, I'm sorry, my punches in here in this drawer, but I outgrew that, and so now this is where I keep my paintbrushes, some little paints, and some patterns, and some carbon paper, and some tracing paper. This is the closet in my craft room. This is where that hutch used to be until this past spring, when I decided that I wanted to move the hutch out and try and get as much storage space as I possibly could out of the closet. This little bag here is something that I purchased recently off of Amazon. It's to carry my tri-blend pins in to the crops. I have all of these bags hung up over an over the door hook system there. And I don't take all of these bags to the crops with me, but you know, I do take quite a few. And then over here on this door is a over the door shoe storage system. And this is where I keep most of my punches. I'm trying to get more punches put in here. I've almost got this whole thing filled up, but I do try and keep like similar punches together in the same pouch. Leaves, and then these little decorative corners, and then the hearts and circles, for example, are some things that are in the same family that I can try and put together in the same pouch, so, or in the same pocket. This little workspace area, we've added more lighting in the closet area. If I wanted to stand and work on some layouts, then I'm able to do that. I can also bring over my Cricut and work in this area as well. And then down here, I'm trying to utilize every little space that I possibly can. So as you can see, there is some little spaces in between the wire baskets, and I have some things stuck in there. Excuse me. The pegboard. This is, to me, a great storage or organization system here. You can go vertical with your pegboard. It is super flexible. You can, as you buy new things, you can hang your new tools and reorganize. And it is, pegboard is organized in a way that you can put everything where you can see it. It's ideal, especially for these smaller spaces, and it is a great way to get things that is up off of your work surface. And there's a lot of different accessories that can go with your different pegboard. Here, I've come up with the idea of using these dowel rods on the hooks to put my washi tape. And then with all my other little tools that I have here as well. And I've just got some wood put around it to frame it out. But as you can see, these my little brayer, and then the crocodiles and little jewelry pliers, and then these baskets. That's what I was going to talk about, was the accessories. You know, you can have baskets and you can put little shelves or cups and, you know, the roll holders over here. This is another idea that I got from Erin with Crafty Concepts with Erin, is these little fabric boards or fabric bins that you can purchase at Lowe's. They're pretty inexpensive, but they are the perfect size for our stamps and the tape. I have been putting my labels on here, and I have not had any issue of them wanting to peel up or anything like that. But again, I do want to say these are the perfect size for the Close to My Heart stamps, as well as working out for the Stampin' Up! Stamp set. Back there is my die cut and embossing machine from Close to My Heart. And then I do have up here just some extras right now, and then that's got miscellaneous stuff in it. And then in this little basket is some things that I just have not been able to go through yet, but I'm going to go through and find a home for this different stuff. I want to talk to you guys about this next little organizer. I love the idea of using tackle boxes. I just purchased these at Walmart back in the fishing department, and tackle boxes is an outside of the box storage system. And as you can see, I have here like my wire and some, you know, string and different ribbon and things that can be in here. I just think tackle boxes are great storage containers. They're easy to carry. And with those small little things in here, they stay in their spot. I have not had any problems with them, you know, putting them back away and everything, and picking them up and carrying them. I have not had any problems with them getting mixed up or coming out of their own little unit in there. I'll get this put away here. And I have my fabric bin up here that would hide the ugly and the things that I really just don't want to see, you know, like my press and seal container there and the Ziploc containers. And then these are homemade splatter boxes or spray boxes, whatever you want to call them. I just cut up some cardboard and duct tape them together. This over here, I'm trying to keep that for storing taller items. And then I have my lamp over here, and then my Cricut cover, and then I also have some empty totes so I could carry some different stuff around if I wanted to take some more stuff to the crops. So here is my personal trimmers. This basket is where I keep my different personal trimmers, and then here is my scoreboard. And then I have vinyl up here in this. And then this is like the dividers for those magazine holders that I keep my paper in. And then the little light box. And then right over here is the box for the magnifiers. And this is where I am keeping my extra magnifiers in there. And this is like my own little junk drawer. I have my magnet sheets in here and jump rings and some other little peg hooks. And then here is picture frames for some crafts in the future. This is where I have my hot glue. And then these little tins I was using at one point, but I just don't have the heart to get rid of them right now. And then just some more future craft supplies. Same. And then back over here in the back corner is what I have been keeping my washi tape in, some containers from Hobby Lobby for the washi tape. But again, I am a very visual person, and so if I don't see it, I don't use it. And so this is what I want to do, is get my pegboard filled up with my washi tape so that I will get that used up. And then over here is where I have my PM400 photo printer, and then the paper and supplies for it. And then down here is some more things. And this 3-ring binder is another idea from Crafty Concepts with Erin about a place to keep your ephemera. These are those, oh, I can't remember what they're called, but they're for the photo albums. And so I really do like using these. You can just flip through and find what you have. Much more organized and much cleaner looking. So I do want to flip through there, and I have been using it. It has been working for me. This little binder I purchased from Hobby Lobby over there by the stamps. It's actually supposed to be for a container for stamps, but it is the perfect size for the, this is a color book from Close to My Heart. And then this second one over here is actually the idea books, Make It From Your Heart idea books. And these dividers come with this little organizer. And so I have 3 volumes of my idea book in here, and I think that is just the perfect size and the limit for this little album. Now next, this is my sticker book, and this is from eons ago. And as I was going through and getting rid of different things, I probably should have gotten rid of these stickers, but I honestly just did not have the heart to get rid of them at this time. I had a friend tell me that I could probably use these in like my junk journals or different things. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these for a little bit and see if I do use them. These are old Creative Memories stickers, and I'm sure there's Mrs. Grossman stickers in here and just other store-bought stickers. Then I have my trash can over here, and then this little rolly cart. Again, if you can get anything in your craft room on wheels, then I would advise you to do that, because it just makes everything so mobile, and I like the way that you can move it around. Now here is just kind of different little miscellaneous stuff. I've got like some little folios thing, and then down here on this third tray is my card making stuff. And over here, that during the pandemic, then my husband made this ribbon holder for me. My hope, again, at the time, I think I've mentioned it before, is that during the pandemic, I was hoping that I would be able to get back into paper crafting and just crafting in general. Unfortunately, it didn't really work at the time. This is like my little junk tin, so to speak, with stuff that I need to go through. And I just want to show you guys here some more pegboard and how you can utilize that and build up and be vertical and getting things up off the floor and out so that you can see it, so that you can use it and you know what you have. And you can move things around as you purchase different things. And these little baskets are wonderful. As you can see, it holds a lot of different paint and some other different supplies. And the baskets do come in different sizes. This is my little decorative scissors, and then my punches, and then I have like these little sponge brushes, and then some other different sponges that I can use. And using the ribbons, I think this is really great to see this, and hopefully I will be able to use them a little bit more. Over here is my I showed it before in another video, but this is just something else that my husband built for me during the pandemic, and it holds my wooden stamps. I don't have the heart to get rid of these wooden stamps yet, and then yeah, I do have some of those down there at the bottom, and some punches up there at the top that I haven't fit over into the shoe organizer yet. But I like that the area where we purposely put this is out of the sunlight. You know, it is right here next to the window. It does not really get the sunlight, so then it won't damage my stamps. So this is my view outside, and this is a little willow tree that we planted about 2 years ago, a weeping willow tree. And I can't wait, and I know that it will be a long time, but I can't wait until it gets to be the size of my neighbor's willow tree. And then this is a photo scanner, and this is my office area. I try and keep my crafting out of the office area as much as I can, and so I am working on my husband's Navy album there. And then I do have like some vacation things and some Winnie the Pooh and just some other different little themed papers and stuff over here. And then while I was going through and eliminating things, I was actually able to eliminate everything that had been kept in this wire container, and I had put it aside out in the garage, and I was going to get rid of it, and then I thought, wait, I can actually use this for some different storage, and then put some things up here on top. So as you see in this top drawer, I've got some stamping supplies in here, and then I've got some things here that I need to work on. And so right now, really, this has really just kind of become like, like a little junk area. And this is my paper shredder. Paper shredder is an absolute must for me in my office. And my other absolute must for me is the TV. I use it for background noise because having that on helps me better concentrate. Okay, everyone. I would really like for you to comment down below about what organization ideas that you saw in my video that would be a solution in your crafting area. Be sure and hit like if you like anything that you saw today in my video. And if you haven't already, please be sure and hit subscribe. Also, please be sure and share my channel with your friends. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.